show Grizzly, bitch.
What up, me militia? I'm Mean Joe Grizzly, and when I'm not stranded on a deserted island with power-hungry co-workers, I'm at the Grizzly Cave watching and reviewing movies. And I am back at the Grizzly Cave to bring y'all my review of the latest Sam Raimi flick, Send Help. Is Send Help the usual quality that we expect from Sam Raimi, or is it a January flop? Let's find out. This is Grizzly Grade Reviews. So Send Help is a story of a woman and her asshole boss as they become stranded on a deserted island after their plane crashes into the ocean. And they both have to put aside their past grievances and their issues and work together to survive. But ultimately it becomes a battle of wills to see who is going to make it out alive. So as a massive Sam Raimi fan, I was really looking forward to this movie despite its January release date. And after watching it, I can say with full confidence that this is yet another banger to add to Sam Raimi's catalog. So starting out with the positives, Rachel McAdams plays this character of Linda Little. She is this dorky, very awkward, very unhygienic, very pathetic person that works at this office who is a number cruncher, and she is allegedly the reason why the company has had so much success, and her boss promised her a promotion up to VP, and when that boss passes away and leaves the company to his asshole son, all of that is up in the air now. And Dylan O'Brien plays the boss, the new boss, and he is this epitome of a shitty boss. The boss that just uses all of his underlings just uses them up and uses them to advance his career and advance his company, and doesn't care what happens to them whatsoever, or cares about how they feel about anything or anything that they deserve. And this eventually leads them to getting on an airplane to go to, I believe it's China, to do some kind of summit. And when the plane crashes and those two are the only survivors and they end up on a deserted island, the power dynamic suddenly shifts to where she is actually thriving and he is now the one that is beneath her. And both Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien play their roles so damn well. Rachel McAdams has this crazy transformation into this really unpleasant person. And when I say unpleasant, I'm not saying that she is a bad person in the beginning of this. I'm saying that we all know that one person in the office who is not necessarily a bad person, but they have really bad hygiene. They always insert themselves into conversations to try to fit in. They always kind of invite themselves to out of work functions that just a specific group of people at work are going to, just to try to fit in. They try really hard, and it's one of those people that you just kind of consider pathetic. And for someone as beautiful as Rachel McAdams to transform into this really nasty looking woman is pretty damn shocking, and she plays that role so damn well. And as the movie progresses, you find out that she is way more than meets the eye, that she is way more capable than we thought she was, that she's not just this dorky girl who dreams of being the VP and loves Survivor and stuff like that and studies all these survival skills stuff. She actually can apply them, and she's actually really resourceful when she's in a situation like this. And then on the other hand, you have Dylan O'Brien's character, who he does a fantastic job of being that boss that you just fucking hate. Like, he is the most unlikable supervisor / boss that you have ever seen in your life. Like, just, they really hammer that home and make you understand both of these characters and where they stand and their role in this movie. And I thought that was really refreshing to see, particularly something that was just so realistic that we've all dealt with in our life. We've all dealt with a boss that acts like Dylan O'Brien, and he's just an asshole. That's just the best way that I can put it. And he is not only a jerk, but it's the way that he is a jerk. He's not a jerk outright. He does all these things, and this is a term that it sounds very cliche at this point in society, but he uses a lot of microaggressions to try to dig at Rachel McAdams' character. He does all these little things, all these underhanded insults and stuff, and everybody's had a boss like that, and Dylan O'Brien embodies that completely. And the other thing that's really good is they find some kind of way to make you root for both of these characters at different times in the movie. So there is someone that you clearly do not like in the beginning, and there's someone that you're clearly rooting for at the beginning, and that flip-flops throughout the movie because of how complex these characters are being portrayed. You want Rachel McAdams' character to get one over on her boss, to finally get the upper hand on him, but at the same time, there are moments in the movie where you're like, yeah, the boss guy he's an asshole, but once you really get to know him, is he really that bad of a guy? And then you figure out that he is consistently plotting and trying to do he's just a snake. He's just constantly trying to do something to fuck Rachel McAdams' character over. And then you have moments where Rachel McAdams' character kind of steps over the line, and you're like, is she really the one that I want to root for in this situation? So it was very interesting how they balanced both of those characters and made you root for both of them at different times in the movie. And just like I said before, the premise of this movie and the story is simple, but it is something that is so relatable because everyone has had that crappy boss. Everyone has had that job that you work so freaking hard at and you never get any recognition for the work that you do. And when you feel like you deserve that, your boss just kicks you back down the line again and just makes you feel so insignificant and does it in a way that just completely crushes your confidence and your drive to do anything at work. That's something that everybody has dealt with. At least I have. And it really makes you appreciate when you finally do get a good boss. But I can honestly say that the majority of bosses I've had in my life have been like this. It's just a simple story that is fleshed out so well that it really makes it relatable, and everyone can say that they've been there. And that's something that's really important in a movie like this. And Sam Raimi does a really good job of ramping up tension in this movie. There is a scene in this movie that had everyone on the edge of their seat, and what's crazy is everything that is happening is off screen. It's just close-ups of each of the characters' face and them interacting with each other, and that scene was done so perfectly. It's a masterclass on tension, that one particular scene. But there's several scenes in the movie where Raimi does this really good job of ramping up that tension. And Rachel McAdams in particular has these moments of dialogue that are really, really intense, and you know that she means business. And it's coming from a character like hers where she is this real reserved, quiet, awkward character getting so intense and having such seriousness behind her actions. It really, really works. And Rachel McAdams should be commended for those scenes because she is absolutely great in this movie. And just like with most Sam Raimi projects, there is a lot of over-the-top gore. Like, there are moments in this movie that are big-time callbacks to The Evil Dead, but not any way, shape, or form where it is like ripping The Evil Dead off. There is just that signature Sam Raimi gore that's super over-the-top, just blood everywhere, gore everywhere, just real nasty stuff going in people's face and their mouth and stuff like just gnarly shit. And it's something that I wouldn't have it any other way. It's something that I expect out of a Raimi movie, and he 100% delivered. And despite having a good bit of CGI, the movie is beautiful. The island that they are on, although I know that some of it, if not most of it, had to be CGI, it looks really good. It's very convincing. It's beautiful scenery everywhere. And another thing that is a Raimi staple is this movie's funny as hell. There are moments in the dialogue and just little bitty quips that each of the characters do that just have the audience snickering, even laughing out loud, that just made this experience even more of a deeper experience. You got the moments that are really, really tense. You have moments where the gore and the gross out stuff's happening. And you have these moments of comedic relief that are just flat out hilarious. And again, that's what we come to expect from someone like Sam Raimi, who is this very diverse filmmaker that just knows how to deliver all of those experiences to us. Moving on to the mixed, I have one mixed part of this, and that is some of the CGI is not good and will not age well. And it has to do with some of the animals that we see on the island. And I think what is going on with that is that this movie was shot in 3D as well. And some of those effects had to be overly produced and overly digitized, and it just doesn't it doesn't give you much in the form of realism. It's very uncanny, and that was something that wasn't that big of a detriment to the movie, but it was definitely something that I noticed. The one in particular are the boars on the island, the wild hogs that are on the island. They look very, very, very fake, and we're not talking about like TV CGI fake or Flash fake or anything like that, but you could definitely tell that they're not real, and it wasn't anything that really affected the movie for me, so that's why it's in the mix section. And finally, my only negative is, even though I appreciate how simple this story is, it is predictable throughout the movie. You kind of know the direction that the movie's going in. There aren't a whole lot of twists and turns, and the twists and turns they do have, you do see coming a mile away. I would have liked to seen a little bit more craziness happen in the plot, where stuff completely gets turned on its head and doesn't go the cliche route. But unfortunately, that is what happened. And it doesn't really affect the movie that much for me, but it is its biggest glaring negative. But overall, guys, I really enjoyed this movie. It was a fun experience. It was hilarious. It had parts that were very, very, very gory. It had parts where it was very tense, and I think that Sam Raimi did a fantastic job of bringing us this movie. I think that Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien were absolutely incredible in their roles, playing their respective characters, and I think it's a movie that just about anybody is going to enjoy. And honestly, I think it's the perfect date night movie. If you want to have fun on a date and take someone to a movie, this is probably a movie that I would definitely recommend. So with all that being said, Send Help gets a 4.25 out of 5 and is Grizzly grade guaranteed. 100% go see this one. It was a fun time. I don't think anyone should be disappointed. Well, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for your continued support and patience. Without y'all, this channel isn't possible. And if you like this video, like it. And if you like it enough, please head over to the channel, hit the subscribe and bell button so you never miss a video. Also, please follow me on all social media platforms so you can get channel updates, movie news, and all forms of badassery. Click right here, you'll get my latest review. If you click right here, you'll get my playlist to all my Grizzly grade reviews. So make sure that y'all check that out. And remember, I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch.